Hi there, Michelle here, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video is another Monday vlog where I go over everything I did last week, what I'm doing this week, and future projects. If you're new to my channel and you like crocheting and knitting and yarn and thrifting and this general vibe, then why not hit the subscribe button? If you subscribe to my channel, then you'll be up to date with all of my latest videos and projects. Last week, I was basically just working on some granny square projects. Mainly, I was testing out the new Caron all-in-one granny square cotton granny yarn. Yeah, and I did put a whole video and review up on my channel on Saturday. So if you haven't watched it, definitely go check it out if you are really interested to see how this yarn works out. I did bring the projects in here so I can show you. So we're going to go over everything I did last week. Originally in that video, I was going back and forth between maybe making a vest, maybe making a tote bag, or maybe like a pillowcase. But I rarely make pillowcases. In the end, what I ended up doing was not making any of those three projects because the squares were really small. I saw that the squares could be anywhere between 2.5 inches to 3 inches. And I'm like, okay, I understand that. And like, I understand how much that is, but seeing the square like in person, I'm like, oh, these are tiny. These are very, very tiny. Making the vest was not gonna happen. The yarn can make 39 squares. Still don't understand why it's 39 squares and not 40 squares or 38 squares. Why 39? Why an odd number is what I'm trying to say, right? Or why not make it like 35 squares? Like if you're gonna do an odd number, do it in fives. I digress. This is 14 squares, okay? So there's 6 squares on the front, 6 squares on the back. This is 12 squares, and then a square on the front, square on the back. That's 14 squares. So I basically used half of that skein, and this is all that I made. So if you think about it, and I mentioned this in the video, say I take the front panel of this and the back panel of this, and like I put it like this, I'll get like a little piece here and a piece here. I'll still have to crochet all of this. I'll still have to crochet a bunch for the back. So one of those will definitely not make a vest, unless it's like a baby vest or a little child's vest, maybe. These squares are by Caron, but Caron is basically owned by Yarn Inspirations. Bernat is also owned by Yarn Inspirations, and of course, Red Heart is owned by Yarn Inspirations. So it's all these different brands, but they're all underneath the same like parent company, I guess. When it comes to these all-in-one yarns, I'm just assuming, you know, Yarn Inspirations is doing it, because technically they are. I have tried every single granny square yarn that Yarn Inspirations has come out with, unless there's one that I have not heard of, but I'm pretty sure I've tried them all. And every single one, I have never been able to meet, not gauge, but like when the colors change. I've never been able to do that with the hook size that they recommended. Most of the time, like say like the Red Heart all-in-one granny square, I think all of them, they all say to use a 5.5. For me, the 5.5 millimeter hook is just way too big, and I could never like get the colors to line up. So I always size down to a 5 or a 4.5. Most of the time I can get away with a 5. I'm pretty sure the Bernat one, I can't remember which size they told me to use. Oh, I don't have that book with me. There are 2 granny square yarn that I'm in absolute love with, and that if they ever come out with new colors, I may or may not buy them. That would be the Bernat Blanket Granny, which I really don't know if I need to buy more of that yarn because I made the blanket. I really love that yarn. And the Granny Square Petite, which I absolutely love that yarn. It always works out for me, and the colors of the petite are probably my favorite. These ones here, I feel like we're just such an awkward size. I'm not used to doing anything with smaller granny squares, so for me, trying to figure out a project that doesn't require me making all 39 squares was a little difficult. I really wanted to make a Kleenex box holder, which I think would look so cute, but the squares were just too big, but also too small at the same time, because I couldn't like stack them up because they were too big, but if I put one, then it was too small. It was a whole thing. I ended up making the iPad cover just because I didn't have to make a ton of squares, but also I didn't have a cover for my iPad. Yes, I do have like the case for it, but I've never made a crochet cover, which you think I would have done that at one point in my life, and I haven't, and I've had this for pretty much as long as I've had my YouTube channel. I've had this longer than I started making crochet projects for YouTube. So you think that would have been like maybe the first thing I did. I really do like how the squares turned out, but I think like my favorite part is this join as you go color, because this is giving like pumpkin pie. So this technically could be like the first fall project of 2026. This is by Cascade Pandamonium, and I believe the color is called Sandstone. I think it's Sandstone, but it's like pumpkin orange. They could have called it pumpkin orange, and I'd be like, yeah, that that makes more sense, right? And I got the Join As You Go color, so like this orange color that they call sandstone, from Central Pearl, and I will be linking both these yarns in the description if any of y'all are interested in looking them up. I also did something different that I've never done before, and yes, I did talk more about it in the video. I did a scallop edge to join them together. So instead of me, you know, slip stitching or crocheting or whatever the sides together and then putting the scallop edge on, I just kind of lined them up and did the scallop edge right through those spaces in between the granny square clusters. And I think that this turned out so cute. So if I were ever to make a pillow or something, maybe even a bag or something that has to do with granny squares, and I want to put a scallop border, I know how I'm going to do it now. Again, I give you a lot more detail in the video. The other little thing I made was just this AirPod case, and I really wasn't going to make this, but my friend Stephanie from Central Pearl, because I showed her the square and I'm like, what yarn do you think would go with this? Because technically, I would have loved to try like a Caron yarn, and I did buy a brown one. Unfortunately, it was a little too thick, so I wasn't going to order again from Yarnspirations and wait for it. The squares were done. I needed to join them together. So Stephanie is the one who suggested that I go with this Pandamonium cotton yarn. Oh, also the orange yarn is, what is it? I think it's like 50-something%, like 51% cotton and like 49% viscose from bamboo. And I've had problem with bamboo yarn before. This, no problem, no fraying. The one time I did a whole project with bamboo, it was way too heavy, and the ends, no matter how tight I tighten them, they keep to this day coming undone. So I've kind of like stayed clear of bamboo yarn, but if it's bamboo mixed with something, I'm okay with it. So she's the one who suggested that I make this because she has something very similar for her AirPods, and I'm like, oh, that's a cute idea. And of course, because I did a scallop border on the iPad, I had to do it for the AirPod case. So, and I can still get into there. Works for me. That is all the projects that I was working on last week. This week, I am very happy to tell y'all that I have started the loon sweater. Yes, they are on my needles. I am starting a knitting project for the first time in forever. Unfortunately, I left it in the house and I don't want to go get it because it's really hot outside, and if I leave the camper, my hair will freeze out even more than it is right now, and I don't want to do it. So I'll just go to some B-roll and I will show you what it looks like right now. This is a little bit later on in the day. I just wanted to show you how far I've gotten. Yesterday, I just did the German short rows, and now I just have to go back and forth until I reach a certain length, and then I can start the loons. And maybe any of y'all can help me with this question, but in the pattern, it says measure from the side edge. I'm assuming the side edge is this here, and I'm assuming if it's telling me to measure from the edge, I'm guessing it's here, and then down how many inches or centimeters it wants me to go, and then that's where I start the loom. If it says to measure along the side edge, is this the side edge? Or am I supposed to measure from the middle? Because I'm thinking it's this edge. So please let me know if that's correct. Tried looking up some videos of what that means, and I've got nothing. That's what I'm kind of hoping. So I'm just going to keep measuring it from here. And honestly, it's just the measurement to where the loons start. And in the pattern, it says that I can like move the loons up, move the loons down, wherever I really want them to sit on me, like on the sweater. So, I mean, you know, I'll just keep going until I feel like the loons are at a good placement, and then I'll start the loons. I'm really happy that I am able to start knitting this. I just really wish it was in the round. It's fine. What am I going to do? It's just the purling. I know with time I'll get better with purling, but I am an English style knitter. I haven't tried continental. I'm a thrower, and y'all know that if you watch me crochet, I've been throwing for crocheting for as long as I've crocheted. So like switching over to knitting, the English style just makes so much sense to me. Is it slow? Apparently, but like I'm just enjoying my time. I'm not racing to get this done. I've given myself 3 weeks to work on it. I'll take an extra week or two if I need to. All right, I just want to enjoy the process, and I don't want to hurt my hands. I'm not used to holding little tiny knitting needles in my hands. I'm more accustomed to like my crochet hook, so like my hands do get a little bit more cramped because like I'm holding on to something so tiny. But yeah, I just wanted to give you an update on the sweater. This is it. This is the back panel, by the way. That's it so far. So that is how far I've gotten. I literally started it last night, although I had to do the, what was it? The long tail cast on method. I had to do it like 4 or 5 times before I got it right. When it comes to knitting, I've only done 2 Sophie hoods, a Sophie scarf, another scarf, another scarf. One of the scarves is my temperature scarf that I'm still working on, and I've kind of forgot about. I need to get onto that. And 2 sweaters. But the 2 sweaters that I've done were pretty much like in the round the entire time. But thank goodness the one sweater I did, the Roomy Raglan, did tell you that you could do German short rows. So I learned from TikTok how to do some German short rows, because this project I had to start off with German short rows. And it's not difficult, it's just I can't read something and know exactly what I'm doing because I get really frustrated. So I had to go and look up what they're talking about. And then like once I get it, I get it. But then I'm reading ahead in the pattern and I'm getting really confused. And I think it's because crocheting for me is so easy and makes sense, and the way you connect things and do things, it makes sense. Like for me, if I were to make a crochet sweater, I would do like the back panel, the front panel, and then seam them together. When I'm thinking of the knitting pattern, I'm like, oh, well, that's what I must be doing. I must be creating a back panel and a front panel and sewing them together. And so when I'm reading these directions where it's like, put these loops back on and do this and this, and I'm like, what are you talking about right now? Like, what does this even mean? Like, I'm literally like on the back part, I've gotten like, as you saw, like maybe this much. So I have to like go down all the back until like underneath the arms, and then I have to do the front. But the front, you have to attach like a shoulder here, and then you do the other shoulder, but you only do it so far. You do one, and then you somehow connect it together, and then you go back down. And it was that part there that was really confusing to me. I'm like, what do you mean? Why would I do one shoulder and then the other shoulder? Shouldn't I be doing like the same thing at the same time? So because I wouldn't do that for a crochet project, I'm like, why would I do it for a knitting project? I understand it because I watched some TikToks, but every time I do a new knitting pattern that I don't know the terms, I don't know the techniques. Again, very new to knitting, okay? I've only been knitting for maybe a year, maybe every 6 months I do a project, okay? So it's not like I'm knitting consistently. So every time I start a new knitting project and I have no idea what they're trying to tell me to do, I feel like that meme from 22 Jump Street where it's Jonah Hill in like the dark place and then it's Channing Tatum in like the good place. Because when I'm first reading it, I'm Jonah Hill. And then when I start doing it and understanding it, I'm Channing Tatum. Because it makes no sense to me at all. Then once I watch a video, I understand it and I'm like, oh, okay, it makes complete sense. But it's very frustrating right now because I'm still trying to learn. But that's okay. I kind of have an idea of where it's going. I kind of understand it a little bit better. I'm also at the part of the project where I don't have to do any more German short rows. I just have to go back and forth. Do I wish it was in the round? Absolutely. I cannot wait until I get to like the body part, I think, because then I can do it in the round. I'm still trying to figure that out. Oh, I can't wait until I'm on the sleeves. Honestly, I'm so excited for the sleeves because it's just around and around and around and no purling. A lot of people say like Sleeve Island, you don't want to be on that because it takes forever. I'm looking forward to it, because no more purling until I get to the cuffs. And then I think I don't know, I don't even know what the cuffs look like, to be honest. That's going to be fun. That is basically the project that I will be working on this week, is my loon sweater. Now the loon sweater will take some time. It might take 2-3 weeks to bake. That's the project that I'm going to be like working on every single day, and I'm really excited to actually be working on it today. But like today I get to work on it, so I'm so excited to be doing that. For this week's video coming up, I have to obviously do something. So I'm going to organize my yarn again. I know I keep going on and on and on about how I want to do all these like camper projects. You know, I want to do like the beaded curtain. I want to change the backdrop. I want to make like some curtains for the window over there. Unfortunately, I need to organize my yarn before I can do that because my yarn is everywhere and I don't want to be tripping over things. I need to clean the camper first before I can do these projects. Otherwise, it's going to be utter chaos. I'm going to be organizing my yarn this week. However, I'm actually going to organize it in a way that it's not going to become another Rat King situation. I'm not going to show you a picture of a Rat King, but just know it is not great. It's when a bunch of rats get stuck together. You don't want to look that up, and I don't want to put a picture of it, but that is what my yarn is doing right now. Even though I put them in very nice and gently, they just get stuck together. I'm actually going to be organizing them properly. In one of my vlogs, can't remember which one, I was asking advice on how to keep my yarn together and not rolling apart. One of the things that I was really considering is, you know, those like stretchy plastic, or they could be foam, things that like fruit go in. I was kind of thinking maybe getting a bunch of those and then putting the yarn in there, and then they're not going to roll around. And the only ones that I could find were like at a good price were the foam ones, but I could just see myself trying to put the yarn in there and then they just burst open and break. I wasn't really too sure how stretchy they were, but everybody kept saying that I should get hair clips. So I got a bunch of hair clips. They're actually really cute. There's a bunch of really fun colors. And the reason why I got the fun colors, because I know I could just get plain ones, but I got the fun color ones because, oh, I kind of want to put these in my hair now. Those ones, I know, I need these for yarn, but I kind of want to put them in my hair right now. I bought the colorful ones because then I could match it with the yarn. My goal is to wind up a bunch of yarn that is just a mess, and then people say to use these to clip it together so it's not gonna unwind itself. So we're gonna see how that goes. We're gonna see how this method is for me, and in a few months, if it doesn't work out, we'll find a different solution. And if it does work out, then we know this is the right way to go. My plan is this week do my yarn, next week do the camper projects. And then that way that gives me like 2 whole weeks, 3 really, because if the project after that could be the loon sweater, then that gives me 3 weeks to work on that loon sweater. And we'll see with timing, like if the loon sweater is not done in 3 weeks, then I'll figure out something else to do and postpone it. But I really want to wear that loon sweater in the fall. And it being like 1 week into August, I need to hustle because I want to wear it for the fall time. Yeah, that's what I'm working on this week. Last week I did mention that I bought some fishing line for the beaded curtains. Honestly, I didn't realize how thin fishing line is. It's like very thin. It's like the strand of a hair is how thin it is. It says it's super tough braided line, 150 yards. So hopefully that will be enough. I also don't know how I'm going to like tie it up top. I know a beaded curtain, you're not really supposed to like push them aside and then they stay like a curtain. You can like, you walk through them. So I don't know if I want to like attach the fishing line onto something else and then put that onto the bar, or attach the line right onto the bar. I don't know quite yet how I'm going to do that. So that is definitely something that I am going to have to think about. Thought this was going to be a little bit thicker, but everyone said use fishing line, so we're going to try it. It has to be better than the yarn that I used. The yarn that I used, it has like fallen down. One of the rows actually just completely came undone. It just fell. In a year, I got to switch it up and do something else. Fine. I was actually looking at my, like a memory thing popped up, and I basically made that beaded curtain a year ago today. It's still up with the yarn, so I feel like the fishing line should be okay. I'll probably do the same method because at the bottom, I actually put a little bead, and then I tied the yarn onto that bead so the wooden beads wouldn't fall down off of it. And so that's why I'm thinking I'll do the same thing for this. But this is like next week's project. I just want to show you that I did get the fishing line, and we'll see how it goes. And if it doesn't work out, I'll do something else. I want to talk about this little bag here, and well, mainly what's inside of it. I made this. It is a little, I don't know what this is, carabiner with all of my adorable stitch stoppers on it. I did make a little TikTok of me making these, so I'll just take one off just so I can show you. These little rods, and then I put my little stitch stoppers on them, and then I close it up. The whole reason why I decided to do this project is because I did buy one. Somebody was selling one of these, but it did come with like a little clip on it, so you can like clip it to things while you're working on it. However, I decided to put it on my keychain, on my purse, like a little charm. I'm like, oh, this is so cute. I'll have a little charm. And unfortunately, the little ball at the end unscrewed itself, and my 2 stitch stoppers fell off somewhere, and I have no idea where they fell. I think I lost them in some type of store, and I was very upset. So I'm like, okay, I still really like these things. Let me just go buy a pack on Amazon. That way I can put my stitch stoppers back on it, but like not put it on a lanyard and not put it on my purse. So then that way I could just put it in my project bag. That way when I'm knitting, I can put my stitch stoppers back on here, so I won't lose them, because sometimes I lose things in my bed all the time, and if I can have a good spot to put them in, great. Unfortunately, the little ball things keep unscrewing themselves. So if you do have one of these, Okay, do not put it on your purse. Please do not put it on your purse. No matter how secure you think it is, it's really, really not that secure and it will come off. Took it out of the bag and one of the little circle things had fallen off and it went somewhere on the floor. And all it was just in this bag for, you know, the last few days. So now I'm missing one on here. I love this idea. I think the idea is so cool. Unfortunately, they keep coming unscrewed for some reason. So that is why I just kind of keep them like this and I keep them in my little bag. Also, like my sister got me like this little cat. We call her Totoro. So cute. This looks like a toy like for like a baby. I really like them because then I get to see all of my fun little stitch markers. Also, Stephanie from Central Pearl actually has her own stitch stoppers. I don't know if you can see it because it's focusing on me. Focus on that. And they have her like little logo and stuff. I made this week. I thought it was a fun little project. I think I might keep them somewhere else. Like maybe I'll have like a little hook on my wall and I can just hook them on the wall. I don't know, but they're safe in here and I won't lose them like I did on my purse. And the ones that I had on my purse were so cute. They were little cats in like little yarn baskets and I never got to use them. And what's so funny is that right before I lost them, I completely forgot about this thing. And then I was cleaning my room and I found it. I'm like, oh, right. Because it was actually right in front of my computer, like right underneath it, I have a little tray. And I guess I was showing a photo for one of my many vlogs a long time ago, like February, March or whatever. And that's where it was in. It was in there. And I'm like, oh, right, let me attach this on my purse because it's so cute. And then within like days, it was already gone. This is a PSA. Do not put these on your purse, okay? Because they will come undone. How? I don't know. Maybe it's just because it was rubbing up against my purse, but the little ball thing at the end fell off. And I'm very disappointed with that. On a side note, I would really love to have some loom or duck stitch stoppers. I've seen a few duck ones on Etsy, but I really want a loom one because I'm making a loom sweater. So I would love to have loom stitch stoppers for my needles for the loom sweater. So if any of y'all know any website, small business, yarn store that sells loom stitch stoppers, please let me know. This week, as of today, while I'm filming this, Mary Maxim has finally started their famous tent sale. And yes, I will be going. So basically the Mary Maxim tent sale is that they literally have a circus tent outside of their store. I think they only have one location, at least here in Ontario, and that is in Paris, Ontario. I have bought a few things online from them, but I love going to the store because the store is much more than just yarn. It is not just yarn there, even though the reason why I go there is because of the yarn. They also have a bunch of crafting things. Then they have a bunch of, they do have some clothes there. They also have like the most randomest little things. If you're looking for like a special gift for somebody who really likes certain things, like they have like a collection of just dog things, just cat things, just bee things. I think they had a collection of just gnomes. They have frogs. They have a lot of specific things there. And when I mean collections, I mean they have like salt and pepper shakers, coasters, tea towels. If you have a theme for your kitchen, go there. Okay, they probably have what you're looking for. But then they also sell like as seen on TV things. But I usually go there because of their yarn. The sale part of it, I don't really think it's that great of a sale. It's not like everything 50% off. It's like, well, this was $4, but now it's $3. So it's not like the best sale, but it is just kind of a neat experience just to go and like check it out. And I always find at least one or two yarns that I've never seen before, or maybe it's yarns that I bought once and I'm like, you know what, I would buy it again. And then I go to the tent sale and I buy it. Me and my sister went on the second day last year. That's not a good time to go. Sure, everything is still there, but me and my sister had to wait in line for 45 minutes. And I don't think the store had air conditioning. And I think they had like 2 cashiers. And I also just remember my sister being like, oh, I really like that butterfly bag. I think I'm going to get it. And like the lady in front of us got out of line and grabbed it and came back in line. For herself. Yeah, if you want something, don't say it out loud. Anyways, that's not the whole point of this. I think me and my sister are gonna go this week sometime, so we obviously did not go on the second day. The earlier you go, the more things there are, but the more likely you'll have to spend standing in line. If we go this week, I will definitely include the footage and everything that we got and stuff like that in next week's vlog. But I am looking forward to going to that tent sale this year. So you know when I talk about like movies and TV shows and video games that I'm interested in, I think I'm just gonna call it the pop culture segment of this vlog. Usually I do it at the end, and because it is technically the end, we can go over that right now. We'll start off with video games. I was talking about Cozy Grove last week. They came out with a second one. I have been kind of obsessed with it because I love it so much. It's just so fun. There's so many things to collect and there's so many daily tasks, but then like when your daily tasks are done, you're done. Like you don't have to keep going around and doing things. You can keep collecting items and catching bugs and fish and all that jazz. Basically, you just have to give like your campfire a bunch of logs, but you can only get so many logs a day, which is kind of nice because there's a good like stopping point. Like, okay, I've done it. I'm done the game for the day. I can move on. It's not like I have to keep going, which I feel like that's kind of like with Animal Crossings because it's like you just keep getting tasks, but like the tasks really don't like go anywhere. The thing with Animal Crossings is like once you've built up your whole island and you've maxed out like how big you can make the house and you paid off your loan payments, it's like, what do I do now? Whereas Cozy Grove, there's so much stuff that you can still do. Also, Hello Kitty Island Adventure came out with a new bundle that you could buy, and I bought it. And I don't know how to feel about it right now. It's not really like adding an extra island or world into the game like their past ones, like their past DLCs that I've gotten. There was like City Town and Sweet Wonderland or something like that, which those had so many tasks to do, but I don't think the new one, there's a lot to do. I don't know. I haven't like beat that part yet, so maybe something will happen. I don't know. Those are the 3 games that I play like pretty much every day. Even though I say there's nothing really to do in Animal Crossings at this very moment in time, I'm trying to collect every single item of clothing. I don't know, gives me something to do. But yeah, so that's gaming. TV shows, I'm still watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the 90s one, but nothing else really new came out. For movies, I did watch the new Mario Galaxy movie. Do I think Chris Pratt should have played Mario? No. But do I like Charlie Day playing Luigi? I'm fine with that. I don't know how to explain it. It was just a fun watch. I've also started a Letterbox account, which I didn't know what that was for the longest time. It's basically like you could just make an account and then you just rate the movies you watch. So that's what I'm doing now, but I'm rating them in terms of would I crochet with them in the background? You know, if anybody wants to follow me on Letterbox, don't know what my username is. I think it's just my name. I'm not too sure. I'll have to look that up. The highest rating would be I will put my crochet hook down and I will actually watch this movie. The second tier would be like, you know what? I'll watch it in the background while I crochet. Like, it's interesting enough for me to hear it and maybe watch a few scenes, but I'm not like, oh my goodness, I need to sit down to watch this. And the third tier is I wouldn't even crochet with it in the background. It's that bad of a movie. And it's my personal preferences and like what I like watching. What I'm doing going forward is if I watch a movie, I'm going to rate it whether I would put the crochet hook down, if I would crochet with it in the background, or if I wouldn't even have it in the background while crocheting. That's it. In the comments below, please let me know what y'all are working on this week. I always love seeing what y'all are doing. I think that does it for this video, so y'all have a good day now.